Hey guys, today we're going to be... Hey guys, and welcome back to another color grading tutorial. Today we're going to be editing like the artist Sanghan. Pretty small Instagram artist. We're trying to do some like really big Instagram artists, some really small ones. Mostly because we got comments saying, can you make a video about how to edit like XC Bast or Sanghan? And I checked the two out, and this one's the one that I think would be the best to color grade like. So if you look, this guy's got like very old retro kind of look to his color grades, which I thought would be quite interesting to give it a go. I've never really done these that much, but these ones, for example, are very like dark, moody with lots of grain. So let's have a go. Let's jump into Lightroom and see what we can get out of this color grade. So this is the photo we're going to be editing. I'm just going to bring myself over here. This is the photo we're going to be editing. I chose this one because it's got lots of fog in it. It's kind of like dewy and also a little bit moody as well. So it should be pretty quick to color grade, but we'll give it a go right now. So let's jump in and we're going to base it off one of these photos here. So let's just open this one up. First things first, I'm going to come onto the basics panel. We are going to drop the highlights. We're going to increase the shadows a bit so we can see more of what's going on, and then we're going to make everything just a lot more blue. So drop that down like that. Quite a bit more blue. We're trying to really make this very dark and moody. Then add some contrast, lots of contrast in this photo. Then we're going to drop the whites, and we're going to I think I might try and increase the blacks. Yeah, increase the blacks like that. Okay, then we're going to drop the clarity. Pretty soft images in these ones, and then we're going to actually add some haze to this image because they're pretty hazy. So dehaze to the left actually adds haze to the image, but we're going to then need to make the image a little bit darker again. Okay, as for the vibrance, increase the vibrance, and we're just going to drop the saturation down. Then we're going to close up the basics panel, come onto the tone curve, and add in some contrast in the tone curve. So like that, boost the highlights, drop the shadows. Actually, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to, yeah, something like that. Not too much in the highlights though, I don't want to go too bright in the highlights, but most importantly we're going to add a lot of fade into the shadows, so like that, a lot of fade. And then we can mess around a bit more, add a bit more if we want to, close up the tone curve, and then we're going to come onto the HSL sliders. Now the HSL sliders are going to change the colours, the saturations and the luminance of each individual colour. So we're going to leave the reds, oranges alone, take the greens to the right, along with the yellows, and that's going to change these colours here. That's going to make it a little bit more bluey green. Then the aquas, we want everything to be very teal. So look at the sky here. So very teal. So blues to the left, or aquas to the left. Let's try and blues to the right. So aquas all the way down. No. Okay. So we're going to need to leave the aquas alone. Just basically adjust the blues. So I reckon that maybe a bit more. It's a very similar amount of teal. Probably want a bit more actually. It's quite hard to get teal correct because it's quite an intense colour. So we'll stick with that for the time being, leave these two alone, and then come on to the saturation. Now, saturation, we're going to take the greens up a little bit, we're going to take the yellows up, then we're going to take the aquas up, but the blues, we're going to try and drop the saturation in the blues because we don't want too much of this kind of very strong blue saturation. So take those down, like that, around about there. Cool. And then the luminance, we're going to leave that alone for the reds, the oranges, the yellows. The yellows, we're going to try and lighten up the yellows and the greens just to give it a little bit more bright in the front. Then the aquas and blues, I want to drop the luminance just to make that sky darker, because if you look here, there's only a small amount of actual light bleeding through the mist. So not too dark as to make it a spotlight on this area here, but enough to really kind of darken up this image. Brighten up the blues a little bit. Okay, so that's the HSL slider done. I'm just going to turn that off now so we can see the difference there. Quite a dramatic change with the HSL sliders. The next thing is the split toning. Now we're basically going to be going for greens in the highlights and the shadows, I think. So drag up the highlights to around about green. Introduce some saturation there, around 6, maybe 10. Then the same for the shadows, something like that, like an orangey green, just to kind of add in that sort of film kind of base colour, kind of like that. I'm saying kind of an awful lot, I should probably stop. Okay, and that's basically the colour grade almost done. So we've gone from that to that so far, and we're getting that really foggy sort of greeny blue colour grade. And it's actually not that much of a hard colour grade to do, provided you have the original starting image in the same kind of style. Most importantly, you want to come down to effects and just shove up the grain to, I'm reckoning 55 is usually a good bet, but we can probably get more grain in here. It depends on your image. 60, maybe even 70. And then you can adjust the size if you want to round about. If you did enjoy the video, one thing you could try is putting the gradient slide at the bottom like that. Just resetting that and making it darker at the bottom. That really helps the image. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. It was a very quick picture to edit, very quick edit. It's really not very hard to do these kind of edits, but they rely on you taking the photo in that style. The photo has to be taken on a dark, foggy, moody day, otherwise it won't work. You're not going to get a similar style, so you couldn't make this colour grade work for something taken in broad, mid, harsh daylight. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to, go ahead, check out our course down below. We've got a free Lightroom editing tutorial, which we're going to go into some real in-depth stuff with you. We're going to teach you some really advanced editing there. That's all 100% free, so sign up and register down below. You can also go ahead and grab all of our presets as well if you want. It just really helps support the channel, supports us, and allows us to continue doing things like this. But yeah, without any further ado, I will see you in the next video. Live long and prosper.